Welcome to Tales of Honor, a podcast with a mission to tell the true stories of every recipient of our nation's highest military award, the Medal of Honor. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Tales of Honor podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, and today's episode begins a new conflict for the next 2 months. We are going to be doing World War II recipients for the next 2 months, so all of September and all of October will be Medal of Honor recipients from World War II. There are 472 Medal of Honor recipients from World War II. I've so far covered 86 of them, so this will be the 87th. We're going to begin that today. I don't have any birthdays to go over today, so let's get into today's episode, number 547 of Tales of Honor. On the 16th of November, 1920, Anthony was born in Manhattan, New York, to Italian immigrant parents. His father was a tailor, and his mother was a homemaker, and he grew up in Manhattan. When Anthony was 20, he enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps, and he was assigned to the 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division, after recruit training at Parris Island. 6 months after the Japanese attacks on Pearl Harbor, Anthony was deployed with the 5th Marines to the South Pacific and took part in the landing on Guadalcanal in August of 1942. It was his actions 3 months later that would later earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving with Company D, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division on Guadalcanal, British Solomon Islands, in action against the enemy Japanese forces on 1 November 1942. Serving as a leader of a machine gun section, Corporal Casamento directed his unit to advance along a ridge near the Montanigua River where they engaged the enemy. He positioned his section to provide covering fire for 2 flanking units and to provide direct support for the main force of his company, which was behind him. During the course of this engagement, all members of his section were either killed or severely wounded, and he himself suffered multiple grievous wounds. Nonetheless, Corporal Casamento continued to provide critical supporting fire for the attack and in defense of his position. Following the loss of all effective personnel, he set up, loaded, and manned his unit's machine gun, tenaciously holding the enemy forces at bay. Corporal Casamento single-handedly engaged and destroyed 1 machine gun emplacement to his front and took under fire the other emplacement on the flank. Despite the heat and ferocity of the engagement, he continued to man his weapon and repeatedly repulsed the multiple assaults by the enemy forces, thereby protecting the flanks of the adjoining companies and holding his position until the arrival of his main attacking force. Corporal Casamento's courageous fighting spirit, heroic conduct, and unwavering dedication to duty reflected great credit upon himself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the U.S. Naval Service. Anthony was evacuated and treated at a medical station and was then returned to the States where he received more medical treatment in a naval hospital in Oakland, California. During his deployment, he had been wounded 14 times, which left him permanently disabled. It was thought that all witnesses to his actions had died that day, so when he was recommended for the Medal of Honor, it was downgraded to the Navy Cross in 1965. Anthony refused to accept the Navy Cross, and instead, he stayed outside the White House for 51 days in his wheelchair. It was learned that 2 eyewitnesses of Anthony's actions had survived, and on the 12th of September, 1980, his Navy Cross was upgraded to the Medal of Honor, and he received it from President Carter at a ceremony at the White House. After a long fight with cancer, Anthony Casamento died on the 18th of July, 1987, at the age of 66. He and his wife, Olivia, had 4 daughters, Mary, Jane, Anne, and Catherine. His Medal of Honor is on display at the West Islip Public Library, New York, along with a White House photo album, a watch from the Congressional Medal of Honor Society, and some personal memorabilia that was donated to the library by his daughter, Mary. Anthony is buried in the Long Island National Cemetery in East Farmingdale, New York. Distinguished Service Section, Site 79A. And that was a Tale of Honor. Thank you for listening to Tales of Honor, and if you enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family. Tales of Honor is written and produced by Christoph Ambrosch, and theme music is Loyalty and Duty by Floruz Music. If you have any questions, you can send an email to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com, and please be sure to visit talesofhonorpodcast.com for more episodes and information.